Coming at you live from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is the Blue Heaven Podcast. And I'm so not ready, I almost pushed the applause button. Boy, would my face have been red.
Wow. Shame on you.
What's going on, Dodgers Nation? We are powered by the Overtime Podcast Network. My name is Clint, and you can find me as Real FRG on Twitter. I really just
Dramatic pause.
I just wanted to leave it. You could find me.
You can find me. Guys, my name is Brooke. You can find me at BrookeMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. On today's show, we're going to talk about COVID and casinos and clubs.
Oh, my.
And maybe Lou Williams. I don't know. A little bit of everything. Baseball's in a weird spot right now.
Yeah.
Kind of a pivotal breaking point, maybe, possibly, that we're facing. I think everybody's not sticking too closely to their guidelines, I don't think. Methinks.
Yeah, if only
we'll
there
talk
was,
about that.
If only there was like rules and regulations that these people were
if
supposed
there was
to.
only a 113-page handbook that we could read from or something like that. We'll also talk about some updated protocols because, of course, the Marlins and the Cardinals are both doing bad things and not doing things rightly because East Coast sucks and anywhere east of California is the East Coast.
They're driving me to drinking.
Yeah, big same. And we're also going to talk about those Dodgers who all of a sudden look like a professional baseball team coming off of 2 losses from the Giants. When the world was ending, we are back and we are better than ever, except we're still not that good. We're also going to talk about what's going on at the alternate site because the Dodgers have some weird USC alternate training site that no one knows anything about other than the fact that there are guys there. So we talk with the top prospect, Josiah Gray, Jojo Gray, if you will, about his experience there. And you get an inside look, like mentally. Look.
You get to look, but with your ears mostly.
You get to look through his words.
Yes, that's totally a thing. And I guess now we officially owe JoJo a friend of the show shirt.
We do. Sorry. I didn't even think about that. Damn, JoJo, we got to get you a shirt.
We've picked up so many new friends of the show. We're going to need a lot of help with those shirts. But
doctors and pitchers and everybody.
Oh, my. Before we do get into the show, we remind you this is a podcast. So if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't rated us, if you haven't reviewed us, I guess mostly on iTunes there, we would really appreciate it. Positive preferred, but it would mean a lot to us. Blue Heaven Podcast on all of the spots that podcasts are available. DodgersNation.com, YouTube.com/DodgersNationTV. Go there, subscribe, mash that notification bell,
Do
That's
that.
And then it'll ding. We'll ding in your pocket every time we go live here.
It will ding in your pocket. Guys, don't forget this is a live show, so make sure you drop into the comments. Let us know where you're watching tonight before the game. We will be really heavy on the comments today because I feel like last time we talked a lot and we didn't give people as much of a chance to talk. So it is a podcast. That's true. I've heard that this is a podcast, but I've yet to see any proof of that. So hopping in, Monica over on Facebook, checking in from Hawaii with the little thingy too. The
hang loose. Hang loose.
Yeah, is that what they call it? I thought it was like Shaka or something like that. I don't know.
Shaka Khan.
Yeah. Hatfield says lived there 30 years ago. I think Hatfield's talking about Hawaii, which is
and then he moved because it's expensive. Deborah Young's in the stream. Friend of the show says go Dodgers. Dodgers will be coming up in about an hour. They're boot over there in San Diego, but people listening to the show, they all already know what happened in that game. Of course, Brooke's best friend is going to be on the mound for San Diego.
The sheriff is on the mound tonight.
I'm not going to say
his brother will be watching my Twitter account with vengeance in his eyes. So I'm going to need the Dodgers to rock Chris Paddock tonight because I got a lot of Padres fans who are going to show up out of nowhere all of a sudden.
Roach says, tell John Heyman he could find me. I think he could find a lot of people right now. Heyman has had himself a really solid 7 to 10 days. By solid, I mean terrible.
Yeah, he's verbally assaulting people via DMs on Twitter, which is always a good look for a high-profile sports reporter such as himself, if he can call himself that. Is that a shot at him? Did I take a shot at him? You can find me.
Yeah.
You can find me.
Adam Catch Hansless Braulio on Braulio. I don't know if I'm even going to be pronouncing that right, but on Facebook. Says Kershaw killed it and we need to get him a ring ASAP. The clock is ticking. He also says cheers. So cheers, Mr. Estrada. There, we cheers for you.
Cheers, Ethan.
Officially. Leslie's in the stream. On time. Good. Hey, of course we're going to be on time. That's what we do.
We've never not been on time.
Mr. Crush Guts says the Cardinals and Marlins can't get enough of those thoughts.
Mr. Crush Guts?
That's THOT. Mr. Crush Guts on YouTube. The legend.
Quality name, quality comment.
Nick from my hometown over there in Uptown Whittier, where things are weird and the girls are allegedly prettier. So, AJ says Clint Whack. Thank you, AJ, on the guitar. Appreciate that. Oh, man, there's a couple of them. Luis from Uptown Whittier. Whittier represent, huh? Whittier Treste Omi. I don't know. I think that's actually a gang. I probably shouldn't say that. I have no affiliation.
He's not a white affiliated.
Boy. I'm a white boy, except for, when I need to be Hispanic, which I actually am. So dumb people are going to dumb. Let's talk about baseball being broken. And we're not exclusively talking about Rob Manfred this time, but, as we do around here now, I just left it on. This is going to be full recurring part of the show whenever it comes to Rob Manfred, because
I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves. Begone, vile man, begone from me. I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
And that's because he's bad at his job.
Evergreen content. That's what you're looking for, everybody.
Perpetually upset with Rob Manfred because he also had a very interesting and busy week himself. But first off, the details, of course, as widely known, the Marlins had 18 players and a total of, it's up to 20 with including staffers of traveling personnel test positive for the COVID or the Rona if you're nasty. Cardinals coming in hot. They're trying to make up for lost time there. They had 13 announced positive tests today, Monday, the 3rd of August, our first August show.
Happy August, everybody.
Remember all those July shows?
Is there any good thing in August?
No, this is like the one month where there's no holiday. I have 2 birthdays to deal with. Family.
I have a family birthday.
Yeah. You have family?
Yeah.
No way. Let's talk about
Feels
that.
like everybody's birthdays this year. It's the weirdest thing, man. I don't know what's going on. On top of that,
Hold on, wait. AJ's going to love that. That's a dad joke for you, Chief.
He's going to really like that one. On top of that, the highly anticipated Field of Dreams game, which we all didn't ask for, also happens to be canceled. Who would have guessed that? I don't know who freaking wanted that game anyways, but it's canceled. So I'm so sorry to disappoint you if you were looking forward to that. No disrespect intended, but it is canceled. Also, the Marlins have played a whole
3 games I think they've played.
Not many. They have not played many games.
They're like top 5 in the league though in runs scored per game.
Oh, they're crushing it right now.
Killing the
Marlins
games,
are one of the best teams. So I do not know how they're going to make up these Marlins games. I don't think they can stack that many double headers on top of them. I don't know what they're going to do for the Marlins. I think they should just tell them like, hey, sit this one out. Maybe
we don't. They did that.
Year.
They did that in NBA, and look we're all happy. I think
they had already started their season. I think that's the issue.
I mean, there's that, but let's be fair. The Marlins were never going to go anywhere.
The Marlins were never going to go anywhere. But that doesn't change the fact that they're still going to want to play. Players are still going to want to earn money, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's making for a really strange situation because the Marlins have to sign like a bunch of random dudes and pull up a bunch of random dudes, and now all of a sudden one lineup looks completely different. Now you don't know what you're going to get from them.
Roach says Jock can do a better job at being commissioner, and I would say, well, I forgot the way I was going with it, but we've seen him try to play first base, so that would be interesting. That was just a burn.
I would like to, theoretically, I would like to watch that go down. I don't know if I would actually like to watch that go down.
That's what I was going to say. Rob Manfred is as good as a commissioner as Jock Peterson is a first baseman. We made it.
We follow. We definitely follow you on that one.
And that's the show. Thanks for where was it at? Tammy asked if they heard anything about the appeal of Kelly's suspension yet. No, we actually thought about that earlier, and we're going to find out more about that probably tonight or tomorrow from Mr. David Roberts. But other than that, I like AJ on the guitar, Mr. AJ Gonzalez over here. I'm watching on Facebook because I think he's got about 5 minutes of downtime between being a dad. But he says the Marlins hung out with more people extracurricularly than would be normally at their games.
Ooh. That's a nice shot at Miami, even for me. Alyssa over on Periscope says,
Perez?
Jock 2020, free ice cream for everybody. And that is a platform I can get behind. I'm all for it.
That, and nobody should ever have to pay for ranch. That's another thing. It's part of my
that's
platform.
a big one. Yeah. That is a big one.
Nick Lopez says the Cardinals and Marlins are a bunch of sucios.
They will. And on that subject, we can talk about. I mean, Derek Jeter is kind of like an important person, I guess, in Miami. I still don't really understand why he's down there, but he responded towards the understandable anger in the industry towards the Marlins players, I guess. Basically, he was like, hey, I just want some empathy for my guys. He said, literally verbatim, some of our traveling party had a false sense of security and comfort, and people are saying, you're out in bars, you're running all over town, doing stuff. And he's like, no, that's not what happened. They just got comfortable when they were traveling. I'm like, first of all, what does that mean?
It means they weren't wearing their masks. They're probably bouncing around. Maybe they went to that Lou Williams club.
Strip club?
Yeah, he bought it, right?
Yeah.
To destroy all the tapes.
Yeah, we got to destroy these.
On YouTube, a sale loner says, what? COVID didn't go away, but it's summer. I thought that was supposed to be the thing. It seems like it spiked in the summer. What happened? Oh, we laugh to make the sadness go away. So,
I'm sad.
The what's that guy's name? John Mozeliak or Mozeliak, whatever. The owner of the Cardinals today also is another guy who just tried to kind of not so much put it necessarily on his players in a way, but the Cardinals were the team that were rumored, thanks to our friend of the show, Jay Hare, who I think he actually deleted that tweet, if I'm not mistaken, smartly.
He did, yeah.
But of course, it's the world and the era of screenshots and canceling. I don't think he was attempted canceling, but the rumor was that the Cardinals went to a casino, which, despite all of those fine Pachanga, Morongo casinos, that we get on the Dodger broadcast, you're not finding me in a goddamn casino anytime in the next 5 to 10 years, and that's not just because I'm not a huge gambler. No, it's because I'd like to not die.
I'm really tired of the commercials, to be honest with you. I'm also tired of seeing Johnny Bench. My God, I'm tired of seeing Johnny Bench. How many balls can
he hold?
And Tumgus and
JT with Tumgus. But Cardinals GM, that's GM, right? John, was it Mozeliak? I don't even know quite how Mozeliak, whatever,
it's
that guy.
It's the same guy who said that owning a team isn't profitable.
He said players, he commented on the fact that the report was players went to a casino. He says, I have no factual reason to believe that's true, and I have not seen any proof. If they were at a casino, no, that would be disappointing. Well, yeah. No.
That would be bad if they were, but I don't know if they were. That's basically what he just said. I don't know if they were, but that wouldn't be good.
Maybe he should have given them immunity, and they just would have told them everything.
Oh, no suspensions.
And
a little of everything.
Do you like that one guy who had the sign and the trash can lid at Angel Stadium?
It was good.
Yeah. The guy's a legend.
Nice quality.
His name is probably Jeff. Seems like a good name for that guy, Jeff
Weaver.
Oh, too soon. Rest in peace, Jeff Weaver. But with all of this, so that the Cardinals stuff started coming out on Thursday-ish, I think, and maybe Friday, and then on Friday, old Robbie Manfred decides to inject himself into the game once again, days after his office egregiously suspended Joe Kelly for missing Astros batters with fastballs and cement mixers. I'm calling it Rob Manfred's 24 hours of hard ass, because he's like, I'm going to suspend the season. Everything's going to be shut down if these assholes and teams and players don't get their things figured out. And then somebody went like, hey, don't forget about the money. And he's like, you know what? We're not going to actually shut anything down now, but people better start doing better or else. I think that's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
It's a good retelling.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to say... We can talk about how bad of a job Rob Manfred is doing again if we want to do that all day, because it's not good, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you every little bit of that.
You get a point when you have a factual statement.
We have another fan watching from Australia. I feel like anytime we get an international fan, we have to announce that.
That's cool. Welcome to the show. This is what the office looks like. Thanks for stopping by. We have beer in the fridge.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
No, we got somebody who's yelling at us about podcast rules and all that. Our social distancing here. If you know you're being we're not at a club. We're in a room.
This isn't a strip club. You kidding me?
You got to pay more, Daddy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's just us in
all
this
two
office.
Of us here,
all two of us
really spreading it around.
We're not going really to places that are putting us in danger. We're not.
I'm at my home 99% of the time.
And if he's not there, he's here.
That's true. I've only been 2 places in my life.
The sickest thing about Brooke is that awful mustache. Oh! Wrecked! Back to you in the studio.
I'll have you know that somebody told me I had a nice mustache this weekend.
I mostly do like it, but it seemed like I have.
We don't want to get back on mustache conversation. It just tends to take off in the chat and just doesn't stop.
Nick Lopez asked how much for a lap dance from Clint.
For Nick,
enough. He's bought a roof, and so I need to make some scratch back there, Chief. So of course, all of these things are happening pretty much where you'd expect: East Coast, Midwest, dumb areas of the country, as we like to say in my brain.
Sorry, guys.
So we're looking at this. Kate defends your mustache, by the way. It's a nice mustache. And
see, I told you.
Gets the job done. In your opinion, let's kind of talk this out. As Mr. Crushgut says, it looks like Jeff Kent. So you are a cop.
I'm a cop. Oh, no.
Who is going to be the first team out west to end up with an outbro? That is
my Jeff Kent sunglasses.
Nice Jeff Kent sunglasses. Who's going to be the first team out west to encounter an outbreak or have an internal outbreak?
Well, you got to think.
Inbreak?
You got to think it's going to be a younger team, right? Like a team without veteran leadership, a team not in the playoff chase, a team with not good leadership at the executive level. So if I were a betting man, I would say that the Mariners are in trouble.
Ooh.
And Washington's also not in a great state. Washington is a good state. I mean, they're not in a great state right now. I'm not taking shots at Washington. I like the Mariners. I think they're a good ball club.
So this is not like you going after.
No.
Florida,
I'm not going after
Miami.
them. No.
Okay.
I hate Florida. I hate Houston. But no, I think the Mariners. I guess would. I mean, if it depends on what terms you're putting it in. But looking at all the factors involved, teams who don't have leadership, especially on the field in the clubhouse, those are the ones who tend to make irresponsible decisions. The Dodgers have had those conversations with young guys. The veterans have had conversations with some of the younger stars of the game. Deleting Tinder and keeping them out of clubs and such. So you need that in the clubhouse because what a coach says only goes so far. What a general manager says only goes so far. What Dave Roberts says to Cody Bellinger is only going to register so much. Yeah. Not because he's Cody Bellinger, but because he's Dave Roberts.
Yeah, you need the veteran presence. Like gift to you a present. Yeah. But you need that somebody like a Justin Turner, like they did with the Dodgers. But that's getting a little bit ahead right here. Getting into the comments here, my buddy Sandro says the sorry ass Giants. It's another team that doesn't quite have leadership, even though there's people.
They all opted out.
I forgot. Yeah, Buster's not there. Oh man. Oh, well, at least they got Mad Bum. Oh wait, no, Mad Bum isn't there anymore.
They got Brandon Belt, and they got Pablo Sandoval, their nutritionist.
I've got $50 on and my Mad Bum being it's a hoax guy. American bucks.
I could see it.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So. Sorry, I got distracted there because these comments are lit. I can see that being a team for sure. I think there's enough veteran leadership, and I think Farhan being not too far removed from being a Dodger guy, he'll probably kick some ass and make sure people aren't going out and getting a little wild there. What about the Angels? They seem to do bad things to the health.
They seem to make bad decisions overall.
Bad things to the health of their
pitching
teams.
arm that has ever come through their system in the history of since Jared Washburn.
You're talking about with the Mariners. The lack of veterans and leaders, and the first team I thought of was the Padres because they're a young team, and young teams like to go out and have some fun.
They're in a fun city, a very fun city,
San Diego. Isn't it just like food and like SeaWorld? Do boys like SeaWorld?
What is it? I mean, food's a pretty good determinator of like what's fun and not for me. I don't care to go to SeaWorld so much, but I mean, if there's good food, I'll go. I don't know what kind of food's at SeaWorld. I don't think I've ever been to a SeaWorld.
Yes.
I don't care to see
a SeaWorld. Yeah, I don't know. Those are my San Diego's kind of my pick. Arizona is obviously a hot spot, so that makes a lot of sense. But that's another city where it's kind of like there's not a whole lot to do.
As Christian says, Machado's at gas lamp all the time. So yeah, probably. He seems like the party type.
Yes,
he likes that fun.
Yeah.
We all do.
To have some fun. This beat is sick. Moving on.
I thought you were gonna drop a beat.
Moving on. You are an inspiration to Major League Baseball. We're very proud of you because last Monday, Brooke invented the fun police, the sort of chaperone, if you will, that teams should have somebody there to basically watch them, to watch their shit and make sure they're not being dumb.
And mere hours later, I mean, suddenly,
like 72-ish, maybe.
Hours. It's just hours later. So it just confirms that somebody listens to our show.
Friend of the show, that guy.
Hours later, Major League Baseball makes it mandatory that all teams essentially have a team mom.
I like that. All right, we got to pick it. So it's team mom. I call it an accountability narc.
They're both good. Yeah, they're both the same thing.
Vote in the comments below. What do you guys prefer about that?
Basically, all it is Major League Baseball told teams that you have to designate exactly as I said that they should do. You have to designate a person that is responsible for this, a coronavirus protocol officer or whatever they're calling it, that enforces mask wearing, social distancing in the dugouts, in the buses, on the airplanes, on their flights, all these things. The person that is just looking out for things like that to be like, hey, 6 feet apart. Hey, hand sanitizer. Hey, here's your mask, et cetera, et cetera. And to keep them out of like hotel lobbies and bars and crap like that, because it's really easy for those guys to just come out of their rooms on the road trip and just be like, I'm just going to go down to the bar real quick. And they're like, They're waiting at their door. They're doing the thing where, I don't know, parents apparently do this. I've never done this, but they put like tape on the hotel door, so you can tell if your kids came out of the hotel door.
Isn't that like that's like sitcom stuff?
Yeah, I saw it on a TV show once.
That's like Red Foreman leaving a strand of hair across the ignition of his Corvette.
Yeah.
Too deep dive. No.
Well, anyways,
anybody?
Now we have that, and the Dodgers. Let's be honest. We saw what they were doing in the dugouts. We saw that it was not the best. We saw that they were high-fiving when there was supposed to be no high. I was told there was not supposed to be any high-fives, and I saw a lot of high-fiving. And I was like, okay, they're wearing batting gloves. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. I don't understand this. We saw a lot of spitting. We saw Justin Turner sitting on the part of the bench that said, do not sit
Big
on
words
this
behind him.
part of the bench. And he was like, this is where I'm sitting. And then all these guys sitting in a row
right next to him.
And you start looking at that and you're like, well, they're getting a little loose with it. And then this whole thing happens with the Marlins and then the Cardinals. And now you're looking at it like, okay, we got to change something, because if we don't, it's coming to us real quick. It just takes one person making a bad decision, and that takes down a whole team like the Marlins did. So Dodgers did step it up. Dave Roberts met with Justin Turner, the designated team leader, the appointed team leader, I guess you can call him. And they discussed some stuff they can do. So over this past weekend, you got to see a lot of different stuff. So less high-fiving, still happening.
Borderline, yeah.
Still happening.
A lot of air fives, which is good.
A lot of air fives.
Plus, give them credit.
You do see them always having the neck gaiter on, like at all times, so that when they're in the dugout, just pull it up real quick, keeping it on. When you go back out,
Seager seems to be struggling a little bit with it.
He does. Austin Barnes also seems to be struggling.
Is he still in the team?
Yeah. There was a couple times where they pan to him on the bench and he pulls it down and he's just, doing his Austin Barnes thing.
Bust the Fauci. The camera's not on me. I can take off my mask.
So there's a couple people that are struggling with it a little bit. But they're trying and they're working towards something and they're getting better at it. And at least they're not still high-fiving and hugging each other. So we got that going for us.
Important interjection here on the debate of whether or not it should be accountability narc or team mom. Jeff Snyder points out that if the person needs to be bringing orange slices to be considered a team mom.
I said that should be part of the deal, Jeff. And if MLB didn't listen to me, that's not my fault. Someone needs to contact whoever's in charge of that.
Question though, usually that kind of team mom would be pre-cutting the oranges into slices, like you said, orange slices. Is that not like ideal for the protocols? somebody else manhandling your orange, if you know what I mean.
I don't know, but I would not expect Cody Bellinger to know how to peel an orange.
How do I orange?
He's like, what is this? You ever notice how it's the same color as it's called?
The outside meat doesn't taste as good.
Is this how they
Nice.
make orange crayons? Yes, Cody.
AJ says every team needs a Craig Counsell. Ooh, but isn't that more
It's a
watching
cop.
other people?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
watching the
you're
other
not
team.
watching your team. You're watching the other team.
You know who the opposite is of that?
Of Craig Counsell?
Yeah, Dusty Baker.
Ah.
Yeah, because he's like, go get him, boys. Basically, we got a hashtag hall monitor. I'll give you a bit of fun there.
Hall monitors are good. They're literally hall monitoring, so that's there's some accuracy to that. I would like to know who each team's person was, and I just want a picture of them because I just need to know how intimidating. You got to be a little intimidating to do that job, right? Like no one's gonna take
kind of
no one's
bouncer.
gonna take me seriously. Like
Oh no,
I'm like,
I
hey
don't-
fellas, if you could take 6 steps back from each other, and they're like, get out of here, dude.
Wait, like is this like a straight geek dude in your mind?
Yeah, I don't know who I'm
guess-
imagining doing it. I was imagining like a very brawny man doing it to
Yeah,
keep them
but-
apart, like an Edwin Rios type of figure, just like move back, and you're like,
Sir,
"Oh."
I'm gonna need you to step back from Mr.
Got it.
Mookie Betts. Can I get you anything else, Mr. Betts?
Oh, like a designated bodyguard for only the good players.
Well, Mookie can afford one too.
Yeah.
So while the Dodgers have stepped up their game and they sent out the, I think that was also on Friday. They sent out sort of their own press release, but not press release to only the media people that they like and have in their cell phones via the Trusted Notes app. Alana Rizzo and all of them got the word that these are all the things that the Dodgers were going to be doing, which I'm pretty sure were honestly already in the protocols, but whatever.
But now they're telling you that.
But through this, you can see the teams that mean it. You can see the teams that actually care, and we know one, obviously not the Cardinals. You know for sure not the Marlins. Why would they need to care? At this point now, I think we could throw the Mets in there. I mean, Syndergaard's dead, DeGrom's dead, Yoenis just bailed. Cespedes is like, yeah, no, I'm out. But he forgot about the part where he's like, no, I'm out. He just left. So that was cool. Nice guy, friend of the show over there. The Cubs have stepped up as well. I from what I've read and didn't really, look much into because of the Cubs, and I don't care. I guess they're trying to stay in their own bubble, sort of in a way.
Chicago's a bubble. I don't know.
Got him.
I've never been to Chicago.
Anyways, the last thing on this is just Heyman. That's it. That's all I gotta say. It's John Heyman, man. That's it. Everybody be angry. We'll get back to your angry later, but we have baseball. We're 10 games in. The 11th game starts in half an hour for us while we're doing this live and recording. We should probably find some positive things. We tend to not be positive. We have a review that says we're never positive, but the Dodgers, like you said at the top of the show here, are not as terrible as they were written off to be on that Saturday and Sunday game against the Giants. Maybe they're not garbage.
I feel like I gotta pause right here and break some really bad news to somebody who doesn't know that Kimbo Slice died.
Ooh,
Braulio. So sorry, man. Kimbo is
what's up?
no, gone but not forgotten. Yeah. So the Dodgers are better than the I think if I'm remembering correctly, after they lost the 2 games to the Giants, Bleacher Report ranked them like number 15 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
In the MLB,
because it's
in the
Bleacher Report.
MLB power rankings, the Orioles, the ones who play in Baltimore and have Chris Davis, they were rated higher than the Dodgers on that Monday after they had lost 2 games to the Giants, which is just the most. I can't even call it stupid, because in order to call it stupid, you would have to say some thought went into it, and it's just dumb. But no thought went into it, and it was just like let me just throw stuff at the wall. Dodgers number 15, Orioles 14. That makes sense. Let me put it on paper.
Grabbed like 30 darts and just chucked them at a board.
That's exactly what happened. So very terrible. And now here we are, exactly 1 week later, and the Dodgers find themselves ranked number 1 in the MLB power rankings for the Athletic. MLB's got Yankees 1, Dodgers 2. No matter what way you look at it, Yankees and Dodgers right there at the top, as it should be, as we all expected. And we probably should just be playing a Dodger-Yankee World Series and just cut the whole season altogether. But that's just my opinion. I think that's just the easiest thing to do.
Cool Whip Special says those, by the way, plus name. Says those games against the Giants never happened, by the way.
That's true. We've already forgotten about those, but I will not forget the fan base meltdown from those, because there was quite a meltdown.
We have a sacrifice, but it's not a sacrifice at all. But Gail said she'll come on and do the positive segments for us. We do
need that. Positive thoughts with Gail.
I don't know if anybody can handle that much positivity.
Gail thoughts. Gail Force thoughts. Getting ahead of myself now.
Apparently, you're just coming up with a segment title, so you know what they say, YOLO. The bullpen, all I said for the bullpen was heart emoji, because they crushed it. They killed it.
Yeah, I think 5 earned runs the last time I checked for the entire season, for the entire bullpen, in which we've also played a pretty extensive extra inning game in the process of also. But to be fair, those don't count as earned runs. So.
The what's it called? Dave Roberts on Saturday night was asked, I think it's Saturday night, Sunday morning, was asked, do we know if the rosters are still going to reduce? Because it's supposed to happen on Thursday, where the rosters drop down to 28, and he said it will be relief pitchers. So now he has a good problem / bad problem to have, because you have to drop somebody. But there was that rumor that MLB was going to potentially keep the 30-man roster through the season, because the news flash, there's a lot of problems with this little virus that's ruining our life. So eventually, it could be a bad thing, losing a couple of guys there. But
I think
I don't know if there's been any update on that.
I think MLB should. What does it hurt? Honestly, what does it hurt in such a short season? We've already seen like a historic number of pitchers go down to injury, and I think Mike Soroka just apparently went down like literally 5 minutes before we went live, and it apparently looked brutally bad, so his season might be over. But at this rate, the way we're seeing pitchers drop like flies, I mean, it would be in the best interest, I would think, of Major League Baseball, for their future, for the talent in their organizations, to expand to 30 and keep it at 30 for the rest of the year. Why not? I mean, if you got to knock it down to 26 or whatever for playoffs and World Series and whatnot, then might as well. You have the Soroka pulled
yeah,
up,
it looks like
good.
The report is Achilles. That's what people are assuming. There's no official report on it, anything, but it's
pushed off.
Yeah, he landed kind of funky, pushed off.
Achilles.
Well, that's not good. But and that was somebody who was pretty high on a lot of people's Cy Young, him along with the other guy. What's his name? Flaherty.
Never heard of him. Oh, I think he was on my Cy Young vote. Oops.
Mookie turned it on after, an understandably slightly dismal start.
Yeah,
and now he's hurt.
We're not going to talk about that. He's okay. He's fine. He's got to take a few days off probably, but I think he had like 5 extra base hits in Arizona, crushing the ball even when he wasn't getting on base. Looked good. Made 1 defensive lapse in the outfield, but forgivable, because he also threw out a guy at third on one of the most ridiculous throws I've ever seen, and did it with ease. Mookie is a very good baseball player. Who would have thought? You give a guy a 12-year extension, and he's a good ball player. Never would have guessed that one.
So while we have a couple more to get into that, 2 things, because we're going to talk about like kind of what are our early concerns, because it's us. We're going to go negative.
I'm always concerned.
What are going to be our chief concerns? We're almost done with our positives, because we don't know how to come up with that many positive things. But what's been for people here on the stream side who can type while they're driving or not, please don't do that. What have been kind of the surprises for you guys so far in 10 games? I mean, I think Seager's one of the bigger surprises for some people.
No.
For some people who are like, they should go get Frankie Lindor. No, wait, sorry. They should just sign Frankie Lindor and then also sign Aaron Judge and then sign. No, you don't just sign these people. It's not how it goes, you dumbass. Anyways.
I thought it was. That was me commenting.
Yeah, I get this every time.
I would just like to point out that I have never advocated for the trade of Corey Seager in my life. I'm a saint.
Wasn't that your pinned tweet for the longest time? Like the sadness of losing Siegs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very sad about it. He's a very good ball player. Also, I would say, if I'm going to jump ahead of everybody, because Triss over here on Periscope says Pollock is surprisingly great, and my goodness, has that guy been off to a hot start, and my goodness, is that one hell of a surprise. I I was under the impression that Jock Peterson was going to get a bunch of starts in left field.
Yeah.
A bunch, at least at DH. I don't care. AJ Pollock has just shown up and hit. Like, that's all he's done since he's shown up at summer camp. He showed up late. He had his daughter. He had COVID. He had a lot of things going on for him.
A lot of things.
He just showed up and started mashing the ball like it was no one's business, man. This guy is crushing it, and it's been so fun to watch him do it too.
And it brings a very important balance to the lineup that it needed with that extra right-handed batter. Of course, going into the season, the expectation was that Gavin Lux was going to take that 2B job and run with it. That's not the case, although Dave says he's getting closer to being game ready. But it was such a lefty-heavy lineup. It worked out perfectly in balancing itself out this way. Having the guy you thought you were signing version of AJ Pollock is great. And Dave kind of attributed some of it to he slimmed down. He's noticeably slimmer in Dave's eyes, and that makes him a little bit quicker. That was one of the things Robert said was a concern. Well, I guess AJ tried to, in the spirit of being healthy, he bulked up a little bit last offseason before officially coming to LA, and it just seemed to really throw him off for the entire season. He was terrible on defense. Nothing really ever looked good or looked right. But you're seeing these swings, especially seeing him for 4 games at Chase Field. It's like, that's the guy. I remember that menace.
The guy who made me dread playing in Arizona, the guy who made me nervous every time he came to the plate. It's like his name became synonymous with like Matt Carpenter, with some of the lesser guys that didn't hit against anybody in the world except for the Dodgers. The Dodgers just seem to attract those kind of guys. So having him come out, just hit the ball, be relaxed, be out there playing the game has been awesome to see. He's been one of my favorite surprises. Gail says the .99 ERA from the bullpen, another very pleasant surprise, because we went into this season with a lot of what ifs and hopefullys and possiblies and projects like we always do. And these projects, for the most part, those few misses, but for the most part, working out very well. Few really good surprises out of that bullpen, like the lefty reliever core, who all of a sudden figured out how to get right-handed pitching out. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what they're looking at.
I feel like we owe Adam Kolarek an apology.
Yeah, I am so sorry. I have said some bad things about you, not about you as a person, but about you as a pitcher. And for that, I apologize.
He's still wiping for the amount that we crapped on him this offseason.
Big time.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
But yeah, the bullpen has been incredible. Brother Gatorade, Bruce Dog Gratterall is I think, the biggest win. And we got Mookie Betts. That might be the biggest win of the offseason.
I love that man.
Follow his Stan account, which is Brookme3.
Yeah.
But with him, like he's just lighting up the gun. He's making it look effortless. There's gonna be some point in time where he's gonna lose it a little bit. Maybe that's supposed to happen.
Never.
But
Bruised our Cy Young.
This is gonna be like, this guy is the future, and he's absolute filth. So win. We love you, Kenta-san, but man, do we come out on top on that.
Oh, yeah. Remember how Boston was like, we don't want him. Idiots. Boston can't do anything right. Stupid city.
Save for one game, Blake Trinan's been on. That reclamation's working. So the bullpen has been redonkulous, if I'm being analytically here. That's a phrase, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The shockers. I'm not going to call it a shocker for me, but Cody Bellinger struggling. Of course, he went from spectator to 2-run home run on Sunday, so that's a good signing out of the stands, I guess, there for Andrew Friedman.
Yeah,
but
just pick dudes up out of the stands that can hit.
Is this is he going to figure it out? Do you think Belly's going to figure it out?
I would say temper your expectations. I think he is going to be the 2018 version of himself, probably for most of his career. If I were a guessing man. I'm not a betting man because you have to have money to do that. But I would say he's going to be a 2018 version of himself. That is the true version of himself. The 2019 version was I think it's a one-time deal, guys. Those are my opinions on that. I hope I'm very wrong about that. I hope he wins 12 more MVPs before his career's over. I don't 13, 14, 15, however many. I don't know how long players
A
play
long
for.
career.
I don't know. Don't baseball players play for like 20 years if they're lucky?
No, that was back in the good old steroid days. Deborah says Kenley has been a surprise. Kelly was a surprise. Not so. I mean, as much as we love Joe Kelly, we brought out our second one just to put him here front and center on the desk. Well, front and sideways. And apparently the Gary sticker fell over. But I'm not sold on Joe yet. He's not quite. He doesn't know quite where the ball's going.
Yeah, he hasn't quite figured out his stuff quite yet. But at least the velocity's there this year. I think we can say that.
We know what he can do, which is throw hard, and break windows.
I think they're going to say miss Astros players.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but he could also miss Astros players. Our boy El Caraiza Chris is on the stream, and he says, "I am the biggest Seager apologist. Don't at me." And you can at him. That is, I don't know what he changed it to. I forgot.
Seager apologist.
I think it's Dodger Familia or something like that. I don't know. People, you people change. Be happy I know your name, and you go changing ats and handles.
It's like when you change your profile picture. I'm never gonna recognize you ever again.
I don't think you could ever change profile pictures. Gail likes Scott Alexander. We talked to him today. Scott Alexander revealed that he had the corona, which is why he was late. And apparently it just gave him a big headache. I'm sure literally and figuratively. But I did not expect that. There's a lot of I did not expect that out of the bullpen.
Which is good. I'll take it at this point. There was a lot of that.
Roach asked, can we be negative now? Mrs. FRG brings up Driveline. Driveline making a big difference in that Dodger bullpen.
Dodgers are about to buy Driveline. That's not confirmed.
I mean, didn't Kyle Bodie go to the Reds, though?
Yeah, but he's going to buy it still.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Tom says best shocker of the year. I'm assuming that was because of, the inappropriate gesture I made earlier.
No, Kershaw's velocity.
Oh, yeah. No, that was I didn't watch the game, so I'm really just saying things out of my.
He threw hard.
The game.
Kershaw
like a 92
threw harder. He hit 93 at one point. Clayton Kershaw hit 93 miles an hour.
I have the button. Where is it? Don't I have like a dun dun dun? No.
Because it's a gun.
God damn it. I hate you.
Yeah, me too.
I hate you.
Yeah, that was a good surprise because I think a lot of people were like, hey, if Kershaw's going to be successful, he's either got to start working those corners really hard or get some of that velocity back. Well, he decided to do both. He got a little bit of velocity back to that arm. It looked lively. It did look lively.
We know Kersh likes doing well on an opening day for him on his debut. He's never done poorly,
like ever.
I think. So that's to be expected. I'm kind of curious to see him sort of, that was the thing. He talked about that, after getting scratched for opening day, the frustration and kind of like the deflation of like, I've felt so good. And then this happens. So you wonder like, crap, is he going to kind of baby it? Is he going to baby step and, not really want to just let her rip, let it eat, especially if he's trying to aim it. So one good start in. Bueller tonight, and Bueller's supposed to be at like 5-75, so he has probably 2 more starts before he's just also let it eat, which will be perfect for the postseason. D May's going to stay in the rotation, so the rotation looks really good. I would say without Alex Wood. That was a real FRG who said that.
Wow,
that guy that didn't necessarily earn that rotation spot,
but he said it to reporters, so it's his.
Oh yeah,
that's how that works. So what are concerns? What are areas you're like, I don't know,
that skin flesh on Seager's palm, that's a little bit of a concern, but then he came off the bench and cracked a 3-run home run. Kike just perpetually.
The fact that he keeps getting into the lineup is a little concerning. That's a concern to me. I would say that Cody's a concern for me.
Yeah, fair.
I would say that's a big time concern for me because I don't know how long they keep riding that horse. If he's not producing, how long do you keep batting him fourth? Where do you move him in the lineup if he stops hitting? When do you take him out of the lineup if he stops hitting? Because right now he's not hitting. I mean, obviously he hit that tank, but I mean, other than that, what has there been?
Is Jock going to break out of it?
Oh, yeah. Jock is going to break out of it tonight.
He's going to hit 056 on the year.
A
Confirmed.
right-handed fastball pitcher. Oh my gosh. Jock's gonna tank Chris Paddock tonight.
I don't know where you're at on this one, but Roach brings up the inconsistent lineups. How do you feel about yet another season of you don't know who's going to be leading off every day?
I don't know. That's just Dave Roberts' style. He's always done that. People this year are like, why is it so inconsistent? I'm like, it's been like that every year since Dave has been around. What are you talking about?
I think the biggest thing was that the sell was Mookie is over here to be our leadoff guy. This is the even though I'm pretty sure we talked about it in the offseason, like the idea of Muncy leading off because, on base and all that. Visually, it just doesn't mesh for me. And it's not because he's like, a bigger boy or anything. It's just because he's a chunky Muncy, but it doesn't mesh for me. It's not it. It's an upgrade for sure over Jock, but we're also so used to Jock, and here on Monday, he's leading off because Mookie sits because finger owl. Anyway, yeah, no.
Finger owl.
Hugest, potentially the biggest, potentially the girthiest surprise of the season has been Eddie Rios. Oof. We could just walk away from that part of it, but Rios, man.
That boy, all he does is hit home runs and show up. I don't know. He just hits a lot of home runs, man. The one he hit in Arizona was a monster.
He also slightly D'd up at 3B.
Yeah.
Turned a double play, started a double play.
Getting a glove down. Proud of you.
All right, the final one on concerns. Where are you at on Muncy? Is he concerned for you yet, or is he going to turn it around?
I think this is so I vaguely remember Muncy having a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of last season. I vaguely remember it, so I could not confirm that because I have not looked it up because I am lazy. With that in mind, I don't know that I've ever seen him struggle this long. Usually finds
10
it,
games
but
in, yeah.
I'm going to give him another 5 games before he finds it, and then he'll find it for the rest of the year, and he'll hit fairly well. So I'm not worried about him quite yet. Give it time. Then I'll be worried about him.
Is Matt Beatty going to get enough at bats this year?
No. As much as you want him to, probably not.
Sadness.
Kike Hernandez will end up with a lot more at-bats. Like a lot more at-bats. And that makes my blood boil.
Also, we got to take a second here to shout out our friend Sierra. Hi, Sierra.
Hello.
So, before we bail, because the game is coming up pretty soon.
And we got to go eat.
Didn't you just eat? Didn't you want some more dumplings?
That was like an hour ago.
Oh, that's true. He thick. Last week, we got on the phone with Mr. Josiah Gray, who is one of the Dodgers' top prospects. He's number 3 in the organization currently. He's number 66 overall in baseball. Of course, a lot of people saw him do very well in the intra-squad games and against the Angels during the exhibition games at Dodger Stadium. People are high on him, and it's for a really good reason. He's good. He's a good pitcher, but also one of the things we confirmed, which we already knew, he's a good dude. He's a really good kid, only 22, and gave us thoughtful answers, and it didn't just try to get through anything. But we talked to him last week, and he's one of the guys over there at the alternate camp, the alternate site at USC. It's not for book learning; it's for baseballs. So we're, again, 10 games into the season right now. You really haven't heard a whole lot about what's going on at that site.
No. As far as I know, they just hang out over there.
Yeah. The book club? That a thing?
Brook Club.
That's it. You're getting a shirt now.
Yeah.
So we asked him, what the hell's going on at that site? And you know what he did? He gave us an answer, and this is that answer. So you're one of the select few, the lucky few, I guess we can say. You're over there at the satellite alternative site at USC. How is that going, man? We need some of that insider scoop because really nobody knows the trouble I've seen. No, nobody knows what that site's all about, kind of what the day-to-day is like.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of like spring training, so we go in every morning. We have to follow all the COVID protocols that have been set. Mm-hmm. So we get our temperature taken and whatnot. And then we just, prepare for the day. So whether it be If you're throwing a lot of BP, you stretch on your own, you do all that stuff. If you're throwing, it's just another day of work for you. You know, you warm up for that, you throw, you work out, you run, and then you kind of just head home. So it's as much as spring training as it can be, and it's also, it has the element of, you know, we have games here and there as well.
Do you guys have a place that's set up for you guys to stay at, or are you guys kind of on your own with that?
Yeah, so luckily, the guys who aren't on the 40-man, they're helping us out with the living accommodations out here. So, yeah, we're very fortunate to have that, and you know, it kind of takes one thing off of our plate, because you know, a lot of guys were coming in from different parts of the country that were impacted differently. So yeah, it's honestly running as smoothly as can be right now.
What's the competition like out there?
Yeah. Everyone is as competitive, and you know, they want to get their work in as can be. So you know, it's really like a really good environment for guys, whether they're, you know, a couple years away or whether they're knocking on the door. I think it's something that, you know, it's not going to be comparable to the big leagues, but it's as close as can be, because every organization is bringing their top guys there, minus some a few, depending on how they see it. And you know, we're all going out and just trying to get each other out, or if you're a hitter, trying to get hits. So it's definitely a competitive environment.
It's science right there.
Can't argue with that.
But I think the next thing we need actual visuals of what's going on. So we're going to set him up with a vlog camera and have him do the whole Trevor Bauer thing. Ooh, also a good plan.
So he's just walking around with it.
That just seems like it would be really annoying to watch GoPro footage, like of somebody pitching.
Just like bouncing around.
So like, Kenley looking straight at the floor.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't probably wouldn't look good.
But you know, it's cool. And we have a lot more with JoJo on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. So it would mean a lot if you want to check that out. We enjoyed talking with him. We also have Gary spoke with him out in spring training back when that was like a thing. Just to get to know more about the kid. And I think one of my favorite parts about our conversation was him. Brooke asked about differences coming here to LA from Cincinnati, just some of the things he notices between the organization. And he's like, I mean, he didn't say it this way, but he's like, the Dodgers kind of care about you. Pretty much. They're like, they want you to do better, which I think he almost verbatim said. So
yeah.
Anyways,
he said they want you to be a better player.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be good about it, and he was.
Anyways, it's about wrap up time, but Santiago just got here and he said, sorry, I'm late. So can you guys start over? So yes, we can. Coming at you live.
That's good.
Yeah, see what
it was like we did it again.
We're not starting over because I want to watch this game. I didn't get a chance to watch much of the game on Sunday, so I really want to watch some sports baseball. Plus Walker Buehler and your friend Chris Paddock are on the mound, and this is a fun note. Here's your fun note, guys. Lowest WHIP in their first 28 career starts since 1920. Number 2 on that list is Walker Buehler, our boy, with a .96. Lowest WHIP in 28 starts. Chris Paddock, .98.
Loser.
Oh, man, it's fun to hate him.
I hope he gets rocked. I hope he has 8 hits off of him, and they're all solo shots. Every single one of them.
Well, you guys can find out more about that game, I guess, because you probably could, you would have known. You probably listened to this already, or you watched it, and this is coming out on Tuesday. People listening to this part. Anyways, well, you can find us on the internet at DodgersNation.com. We would appreciate it if you click there and just click through everything. Do it now. We'll wait. And while we're waiting, I can also tell you to subscribe to Blue Heaven. We are on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Pandora, Stitcher Radio, everywhere podcasts live and can be eaten with your ears. We live there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, I remind you, youtube.com/Dodgers TV. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It'd mean a whole bunch.
You're really good with that notification bell. I'm really proud of you guys. I am at BrookMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. This guy is at RealFRG on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Dodgers Nation on Twitter, at Officials Dodgers Nation on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your concerns. Thank you for your kindness. And we'll see you next Monday. Bye.
Bye.